Run! Baba Street don't craze again! Someone shouted. Within seconds, panic filled the air. A madman, half naked and wide-eyed, was charging through the street, waving an old rusted cutlass. Children scattered in every direction, screaming. Women shouted for help, pulling their kids inside. Somebody stop him! A man yelled from a distance, but no one dared to go near. The madman's eyes were fierce, not with confusion, but with purpose. Then everyone saw it, the child he was chasing. A slim boy of about 12, with brown dreadlocks bouncing as he ran. His name was Chima. Chima stumbled over a stone and fell hard, rolling in the dirt. His small hands shook as he looked up, watching the madman approach. Gasps filled the air. Before anyone could move, Baba Street stopped right in front of the trembling boy. He raised his cutlass high into the air, the sunlight glinting off its rusty blade. Jesus! A woman screamed, covering her eyes. Some turned away, others held their breath, waiting for the inevitable. The boy's mother collapsed to her knees, crying, "Please, don't kill my son!" Then, with one swift motion, the cutlass came down. Clang! The sound echoed through the street like thunder. Silence. No one moved. No one breathed. When they finally opened their eyes, the boy was still alive, trembling but untouched. The only thing on the ground was a single strand of his dreadlock, cut clean and resting in the dust. The madman dropped the cutlass and stood motionless. His eyes were calm, almost gentle. Then, without a word, he turned and walked away. The crowd was speechless. Some screamed, some whispered prayers. Chima's mother ran and lifted her boy, holding him tightly, crying and thanking God for sparing his life. That night, something strange happened. For 9 long years, Chima had battled with a serious, mysterious headache. It came every night, sharp, unbearable pains that made him scream until dawn. His parents had taken him everywhere, hospitals, herbal homes, prayer mountains, but nothing ever worked. Some night, his father sat beside him, helplessly pressing coat towels on his head as the boy wept. Other nights, his mother prayed until she lost her voice. The doctor said it was a neurological issue. The pastors called it a spiritual attack. But after so many years, they had given up hope until that day. That night, after the madman's strange act, Chima slept peacefully for the first time in 9 years. No headache, no tears, no screams, just quiet rest. The next night, the same thing. And the next. When his parents realized what had happened, they burst into tears of joy. They told everyone who cared to listen, "The madman saved our son. He delivered him." The story spread through the neighborhood like wildfire. People began to look at Baba Street differently. Maybe he is not just mad, some said. Maybe he sees beyond the physical, others whispered. And from that day, Baba Street the madman was treated with unusual respect, although some still mocked him. But that was only the beginning of mysteries in the neighborhood. Because somewhere not too far away, another man's destiny was quietly being tested. In the neighborhood was a man named Tunde, who never knew his own destiny was about to cross paths with the mysterious madman in a way that would shake the foundation of his faith. Tunde was known across the neighborhood for his good heart. He was a hard-working sales executive, honest to a fault, and always cheerful. Every Saturday, he had one habit that never changed. He would go to his favorite barbing salon just down the street. The small shop, painted in fading green, buzzed with laughter and the sound of clippers. Tunde had been barbing there for years. His usual barber, Kunle, knew his style by heart. But that day, Kunle wasn't around. "Where Kunle dey?" Tunde asked. "Bros don't travel," one of the apprentices replied. "But make this new guy barb you. He sabi work." The new barber was quiet, respectful, and looked neat. Tunde hesitated for a moment. He didn't like switching barbers, but looking at the neat work the new boy just finished for another customer, he agreed. "No wahala, just make am low like always." The young barber smiled politely, covered him with a black cape, and began trimming. He worked with care. Every stroke was smooth, every cut neat. When Tunde stood to look at the mirror afterward, he nodded with satisfaction. The hair was perfect. He paid, thanked the boy and left. 2 days later, Tunde noticed an itch at the center of his scalp. At first, he thought it was just a minor clipper reaction, but by the 3rd day, it had swollen into a small bump. He rubbed spirit on it, but instead of healing, it began to sting. By the 5th day, a wound had formed. He applied all the creams he could think of, antiseptic, antibiotic, even shea butter, but nothing worked. The wound grew larger, redder, and painful. Soon, it began to ooze pus. He visited a pharmacy, then a clinic, then a hospital, different doctors, different drugs, but the wound kept expanding like something alive. By the 2nd week, his pillow was stained every morning. He wrapped his head in bandages, but the smell became unbearable. When he finally removed the dressing one morning, he screamed. Maggots were crawling out of his head. He fell to his knees and wept. Fear gripped him. The confident, cheerful man became a shadow of himself. He stopped going to work. He stopped answering calls. He began visiting prayer houses, fasting, crying, begging for healing. But the more he prayed, the worse it became. At night, he heard strange whispers. Sometimes, he would wake to see his pillow soaked in blood. Other times, he would feel like something was moving inside his skull. He grew weak, weary, and hopeless. One afternoon, he was returning from yet another prayer house. Tired and thirsty, he stopped by a roadside kiosk to buy a bottle of water. As he turned into his street, he saw Baba Street, the madman, sitting by the gutter. The man looked unusually calm, his eyes clearer than Tunde had ever seen them. "Oga Tunde," the man called weakly. "Abeg, give me small water." Without hesitation, Tunde handed him the bottle. Baba Street gulped it all and sighed deeply. Then, just as Tunde was about to walk away, the man talked sharply and said in a voice that was suddenly steady and bold, "Oga, that thing wey dey your head, if you wan cure am, go back to your baba. Ask am who he give your head to." Tunde froze. His heartbeat quickened. "What did you say?" he asked, but the man had already turned away, muttering as he walked off. That night, Tunde couldn't sleep. The words echoed in his spirit like thunder. "Ask who he gave your head to." The next morning, he went straight to the salon. "Where that new barber?" he demanded. That boy don't go back in village last week, oh," one of the boys replied. "Which village?" Luckily, someone described the place to him. Without wasting time, Tunde packed a small bag and traveled down the next day. The journey was long and dusty. After hours of asking from one villager to another, Tunde finally found the young barber's house. A woman there, who turned out to be his neighbor, told Tunde that the barber had recently opened a shop nearby. After a few minutes, he was able to locate the shop. The man was visibly shocked to see Tunde standing at his door. Tunde greeted him calmly and asked, "Do you still remember my face?" The barber nodded slowly, confusion written all over him. Then Tunde's voice hardened as he asked, "What did you do with my hair?" The barber looked confused, then scared. "I don't do anything, Oga. I just sweep am and give the malam wey dey throw away our debt," he said quickly. "The malam?" "Yes. He dey come every evening to pack the hair and dirt." Tunde clenched his fist. "Where can I find him?" "I don't know exactly," the barber said, trembling. "But people for your area go know am." Tunde returned to the city and began asking around until he found the malam, a short-bearded man who pushed a rusty cart around. "Aboki, abeg, I wan ask you something." Tunde began carefully. "The hair from the salon that day, wetin you do with am?" The man's eyes darted nervously. "I throw away am now," he said quickly. But Tunde wasn't convinced. Days later, he reported to the police. They picked up the malam for questioning. At first, he refused to talk. He swore he knew nothing. That night, Tunde began a 3-day dry fast. "Father, whoever used my hair, let the secret be exposed," he prayed wearily. On the 3rd day, as he broke the fast, he received a call from the police station. The malam had confessed. He admitted that he didn't throw the hair away. He had been secretly selling human hair to some big men who used it for spiritual purposes. And he heard from Kunle, he remembered who he sold it to, because he said it was bought from a higher price than usual. The police followed the lead, and with pressure, the Malam revealed the man's name and address. The suspect was arrested, and during interrogation, he confessed they had taken the head to a herbalist who specialized in sacrifice through identity exchange, using people's hair or nails to transfer their glory and life force. The police raided the herbalist shrine deep in the outskirts town. They scattered every charm, broke calabashes, and searched every corner until they found a pot filled with dark water and strands of human hair floating inside. Among them was Tunde's hair. The herbalist was forced to break the calabash. Immediately, something extraordinary happened. Tunde, sitting miles away at home, suddenly felt a violent jolt in his head. Then peace. A heavy wind seemed to pass through his room. He fell down to his ground, weeping. By the next morning, the foul smell was gone. Within days, the wound dried up completely. No scar, no trace, no pain. He was completely healed. From that day, Tunde became a different person, more prayerful, more discerning, and more conscious of spiritual battles. But he never saw Baba Street again. Some said he moved away, others said he vanished. But Tunde knew better. He knew Baba Street was never truly mad. He was a vessel, and high in the spirit, sent by God for one purpose: to save him. Be careful who handles what belongs to you, because even the hair on your head can carry your destiny. Sometimes, the toughest spiritual battles begin with nothing more than a moment of physical carelessness. That's why you must guard your life and everything that concerns you with wisdom and prayer. And never forget this: a simple act of kindness can become the very lifeline that saves you in the day of trouble. God still speaks, sometimes through the most unexpected voices, even through a madman the world has written off. When science fails, when medicine gives hope, when logic cannot explain the mystery, fasting, prayer, and faith still open doors that no power of darkness can shut. Because no matter how evil hides, it will always bow to truth, to light, and to the unfailing power of God. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share what you've learned in the comment section, and please subscribe for more soulful tales. Till next time, stay blessed.